Good afternoon. Welcome to This is Private Practice. We made it. Was a little unsure if that was going to happen today, let me assure you. And it's not because I have hit a plateau in my recovery. It's because my day just went, ah! Is that the joy of having varied interests in your business? That it can take one or two things to make you feel like all that work I did yesterday on feeling in control and empowered is now like, holy crap, where does everything fit again? Just going back and making sure we prioritize and put the things back in the diary, looking at what is the most important thing that can be done right now. That's what I'll be doing after this video today. It feels like that is something that is needing to happen every couple of hours at the moment, which tells me a couple of things. It tells me that I am overcommitted, that my overcommitment is overcommitted, and that I don't have enough margins in my day. So I think there really needs, because I do a lot of managing, and managing takes time, it takes energy, and it requires me to have enough brain space to be able to think on my feet and be creative. And if I'm exhausted and trying to do that at the end of the day, then chances are I'm going to make poor decisions. And what's happening for me at the moment is I'm avoiding making decisions. So that is telling me I'm overcommitted. Hello to the person who just popped on to watch and then disappeared again. I saw that little eye. So being aware of my energy levels is great. Being aware of all the demands on me at the moment is fantastic. Awareness helps us to be able to make better decisions. Hello, Kelsey Pope, who I understand is moving back home for a couple of months. But not having margins in my day, meaning if something gets tripped up, if I had an initial session with a client today, and I know from 20 years of doing this work that initial sessions always take longer than you think they're going to do. But I didn't plan for it today. In fact, we shoved in some extra stuff that didn't get done. That's made me feel like I'm completely out of control again because I don't quite know where they're going to fit into the week. But that's okay. We'll work it out because that's what we do. So I want to talk into not only the need for margins, I want to talk into another M word, and that's momentum. I have quite a few people in my world at the moment who are struggling with knowing how to manage the downturn in business or the fear of a downturn in business with the momentum that is being built for either new services to come on board, new people to come on board, new programs to be launched. There's always this thing that happens just before a breakthrough. So I'm really curious to know, for those of you who are watching and those of you who watch later, what's it like for you just before a breakthrough happens? So just before you land a big contract, or just before you have a really good outcome, or just before all the money pours in. What I've noticed is we often have a crisis of faith, whatever that faith is, but basically belief in ourselves. And I'm learning that we get attacked in three different ways. We get attacked around our money. So we get a crisis around our money. So we feel like we haven't enough. We want to start contracting and controlling, and our ability to have the cash flow gets interrupted by our need to hold things really tight. I know that. That was pretty much all of last year for me. That's a horrible place to be. But then there's the release that comes when you let go and the money starts to flow in again. So, we're damming it up with our own energy. That might sound a bit foo-foo wah-wah. I actually don't understand it myself. I've just witnessed it so many times to go, you can't ignore that. So if we allow ourselves to play with those money stories that don't allow the money to flow or the cash to flow through our business, not get banked up, then we'll get attacked, or we'll have a crisis of faith around business development. So we'll have launched a new product, we'll have launched a new service, or we're researching it, or we've engaged in a new coaching program or education program, and all of a sudden, all of our time and energy is being sucked into 1,000 different areas. And that thing we've made a commitment to, that it suddenly feels like there's no time or energy for it. And you've built all of this momentum to get this thing, this project to this place, where all of a sudden it feels like someone's pulled the plug out or deflated the ball or let go of the balloon, and there's nothing left in it. That's when most people go, this thing isn't working, I'm a failure, and they withdraw, they drop it and they go, it didn't work. can I challenge you that that is the wrong time to take your foot off that pedal? And what I want you to understand is that momentum piece is actually about you having your capacity built. If you are doing something new that you've never done before, even if it's putting out a new program or attracting a different type of client base or engaging in a different type of learning, you've never done it before. So you actually don't know how to function inside that new thing. We just think by adding an extra thing into our lives, if we've got enough time, that it'll just automatically happen. I can assure you, time is a great place to start. It allows us to function. If you haven't got the time, then don't commit. But other growth in capacity things are happening as well. It's challenging your mindset. It's challenging your decision making. It's challenging your conviction. It's challenging your self-belief. And what I'm noticing with a lot of my clients at the moment is that there is this growth factor moving from clinician and business owner of a private practice to being a CEO of a organization that has multiple people, that has multiple systems, that has multiple streams of income. If you've never done that before, then why on earth do you think that you should be able to just do it now? You've got some development to do, and that's not the sort of thing you learn in an MBA. I'm just letting you know that. It's the sort of thing you learn by having good people around you, by getting in and being willing to make a decision and making a mistake. So if you have been focused on something and you've got momentum for that thing and you are at the point where you just think it's a massive failure, can I please ask you to get around people that you know and you trust who get you, and make sure that you're not pulling the pin too soon. So we have a crisis of faith around our money. We have a crisis of faith around, can I get this thing to market? Have I made a complete mistake? Am I a big failure? And then we'll have a crisis of faith around relationships. So this might be with our significant other, it might be with our children, and it might be with our team members. Sometimes it's with all of them, because your stress levels are probably pretty high anyway, or if your behavior is changing because you're growing and expanding, not everybody comes along with us on that journey of growth and development at the same pace. Some people need some encouragement to come with us. Some people are not coming with us. It's just that simple. So if you are experiencing pressure around your finances, around relationship, or around your business development ideas, chances are you're about to head through into the breakthrough. So I want to encourage you that when the momentum feels tough, it's like launching a jet. You think about all the energy and the fuel and the effort that goes into launching a jet, and then it cruises. We've got to actually launch that thing. That's why we launch products and services, I guess. They're all using the same analogy. So please don't take your foot off the momentum just because you feel like you're failing. It's important that we actually have the good people around us to help speak into the fact that maybe this is the push through time. Maybe this is where we get the grit. Maybe this is where we build on our resilience. Maybe this is where I need to get other people into my world. Maybe this is where I start asking a different question. I don't want to see people giving up. I don't want to see people going, I can't afford it. I haven't got the time. I'm not good at this. I'm a failure. Because chances are you've just never done this before. So we've got to give yourself an opportunity to do it. And that's okay. I can assure you I am swimming in the middle of some stuff at the moment. A project that has taken me 12 months to get approval on has approval. And I was supposed to be developing marketing collateral to help other people, because we've got multiple players in this project, so that they could communicate and effectively communicate our marketing strategy and the service delivery proposal that we have approval for. Yet I got a phone call this morning saying, hey, we don't need that right now. We actually need you to start delivering services to a client. I am so not prepared for that, but we will make it work. We will make it work because we know how to serve clients. We're just going to feel like we're in the background swimming and pedaling really hard for a while. That's what it takes to bring the breakthrough. That's what it takes to allow momentum to come to fruition. A bit of a tough love one today. Good thing I'm feeling well, huh? I wonder what tomorrow has in store. However, I would really like to know from anybody who is watching today, what is it like for you just before a breakthrough comes? Just before the good stuff comes? Is it a period of transition? Is it a period of discomfort? If you are willing to share, because others would really benefit from knowing it's not just them and it's not just me. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to pinpoint, but even if it's, I feel like giving up just before every breakthrough comes, then share that. We would love to be able to support and encourage each other here. So this is private practice. Oh, the other thing I wanted to let you know about is if you haven't read my blog post for today, could you go read it? Because I think it's going to really encourage, maybe confront a few people, but I think it's a very important message that people need to get their head around. And many thanks to Katie, Vanoy and Kurt of the Modern Therapist Survival Guide and Therapy Reimagined Conference, because they actually stimulated the thinking behind that blog post. So thank you, people. All right, looking forward to catching up with you, if not tomorrow, Thursday. Until then, go be your awesome self.